Is it me, or does it seem like the world has gone absolutely crazy? I mean, you used to could watch TV or see people interact with each other and not just be dumbfounded. I mean, I'm just talking from a modern perspective. I'm sure that, in the history of the world, given all the human interactions that exist, that at some point in history, they probably thought their world was going crazy too. But it just looks like the world has gone absolutely mad. And I'll give you a couple examples. We can talk about it. It's very simple. I think that we're getting so used to seeing it that we're losing sight of the fact that, down has become up and up has become down. This is the Warrior Podcast, episode 149. And let's talk about some key signs the world has gone mad, and it's a good thing. All right. So down is up is down. Now, I just made a pretty declarative statement, so let's kind of prove it. There's so many examples that I could spend literally an hour or more just sitting here talking about it. So much so we become numb to it. But just a quick example. Right here in front of our faces is the obsession with the coronavirus. Okay? All over the media, all over social media, it's almost anything anyone talks about, especially in the height of surges where you have, a lot of people that are sick. They're out of work, they're out of school, they're not able to do the things that they normally do or have been known to do in the past. Of course, it's going to be on everybody's mind. But here's the thing, you can tell the craziness by how people deal with it. Not talk about it, but deal with it. You have one kind of extreme camp that thinks that, the sky is falling. And then you got another really extreme camp that treats it as if it's nothing. And both can be a little loopy, in their dealing with this thing. But that's not even the point. My point is that the amount of effort that's put into something that you cannot really control, and how you're obsessed with ensuring that you don't have this virus, you don't get infected by this virus, you don't be around anybody who has been infected by this virus. You want to know where it's at, what it's doing, how it operates, and you come out against anyone and everything that is not in line with that thought. But yet, something more dangerous, more evil, more nefarious flows through society and yourself, and you have no care or whim about it. You don't even want to acknowledge that it exists. And that's sin. See, the problem is we hear that word sin so much that it's lost meaning. It's lost meaning. We've actually relegated it to almost like a cartoon bad guy, or just something that's just we just accept. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. We all sin. We're all sinners. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But the problem is the virus kills the body, can, right, make you sick, that sort of thing. But it doesn't have a direct impact on the soul. Sin does. Sin kills the soul, also can kill the body. Why? Because sin affects our behaviors. It affects our thought processes. It affects our intents. It affects our wills. It affects and infects and everything, all things. It knows no borders. It is the ultimate virus. And we are virus producing factories. Because my influence on other people, I can spread the sin virus. But see, the thing is with coronavirus, everybody wants to have a vaccine. They want to put on masks. They want to social distance. They want to, have mandates and vaccine cards and all these restrictions and stuff because, man, this is priority. But sin has zero priority. Matter of fact, we want to pretend like it doesn't exist. It's the same type thing. Use the coronavirus issue as an analogy for dealing with sin. You have one camp that thinks it's the end all be all, that, man, we got to do anything and everything possible to alleviate this thing or deal with this thing, give out the vaccine, create mandates. And then you have another side that it don't exist. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. It's a good thing. It shows your individuality or your self-expression or whatever, whatever, whatever. Think about the analogy of that, the metaphor of it, whatever, simile. I don't know. Those things get confusing to me. Do you spend as much time dealing with your sin infection as you do worrying about the coronavirus infection or any other thing? Do I? So this is what came to me is like, man, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, whether I want to think about it or not. And I was like, man, the world has gotten into my brain. The world has gotten me to start thinking like them, starting to try to relegate this thing as something bigger than actually it should be, because I have minimized sin in my life, because sin separates me not only from family members and friends and purpose, but from my creator. Coronavirus doesn't do that. Not really, not in the same way, not like we're talking about, not in a way that is devastating to everything. All right, guys, not intended to be a dark message, because here's the twist. It proves God's way of dealing with the sin virus is effective. See, what we've learned up to this point of this video is that our dealings with the coronavirus suck. They're not good. They don't work. They really don't. They really don't. If we're honest with ourselves, we really don't. It's like, trying to catch flies in the dark with a, pair of chopsticks. It really is, for the most part. I mean, if you just look at how things change. But here's the thing. God's way of dealing with sin, the sin virus, man, it works. It has worked. For 2,000 years, it's worked. It's pretty awesome. So the world's mentality about dealing with this virus, we can flip on its head and see God's glory in dealing with the sin virus in contrast. And then we can live accordingly by taking not to get too stupid, God's vaccine for sin, which is the blood of Christ. Do you have it? There's a mandate. All right, guys, you're a warrior designed for glory, God's glory. Remember, as always, if you like the content, share it, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll continue to put it out. God be with you. Stay in the fight. Peace.